What's up guys, welcome back to Car Studio, and in today's video we are going to be working on my 2007 530i with over 250,000 miles. It's finally broken for the first time in all the years that I've owned it, and I don't know, like 40,000 miles I've put on it. Something finally failed on it, and it hasn't failed completely just yet. It's still been very reliable, but it's been making a weird noise. But before we get to that, I just want to get you guys caught up on the ML55. So I plan on doing a video on this with everything that I fixed in the last few weeks. This thing is a daily driver. It has been very reliable, and you know, as you can see, there's a lot of primer spots. If you saw the previous videos, I had a lot of surface rust on the bottom of the doors, and then just random places on the body that rusted, I guess paint chipped. But we've got the interior looking really nice. It's hard to see, but it's got a 10-inch Android radio in it now. I finally got this door open. This door works. I gotta get an outside door handle, but it does open from the inside. It took me weeks to get to that. It does work. But yeah, I've been using this every day as my work vehicle. It is my busy season. I do have a landscape business, and it's been awesome for hold me and my employees and get us to where we're going. My shop, my garage is an absolute wreck. We've got the blaster project here in pieces. We have the turbo E30 that I haven't touched in months, but now that the weather's broken, I will be getting on that very soon. I've also got a Jeep Cherokee that I'm fixing for one of my dad's friends. He was in a little accident, and you know, he had to pay out of pocket, so it was basically totaled, but we're going to fix it for under $2,000. I've got a slew of parts here that I've got to paint and get installed. But so without further ado, let's fire up the 5 Series and go to Advance and pick up our parts. A nasty day here in West Virginia. I haven't driven this car in about a week. It always starts right up though, so I'm not worried about that. It finally did get a check engine light, and it's just a catalytic converter. I think it's stopped up. Check out the miles there, 255,775. And I have not even replaced a coil pack on this thing. It has been the most reliable vehicle that I have ever owned. I absolutely despise the iDrive system. So it's not touchscreen. Let me give you an example. So it's kind of cold outside. It's probably 50 degrees. Turn on the heated seat, that's easy to do. But let's say I had the air conditioner on. Okay, so there's your temperature for the air conditioner. I drop that down, turn on the AC. Okay, now you're not done yet. You would have to go click this over, get into the climate menu, and I've got it on heat right now, but I would have to adjust this to cold for it to be cold coming out of the vents. I have to do this every time, and this time of year when it's like kind of cool in the morning and you want heat, then when you get off work it's hot and you want the air conditioned, you have to do that every single time. Super annoying. Back in the day, and I think on any other model except the E60 probably, there was just a little dial right here that was hot or cold, and you could do what I did just there, analog like this. But for whatever reason, they made everything go through iDrive. It also made these cars hard to upgrade the stereo system, which this one desperately needs. You know, right now I have a Bluetooth transmitter right here I've had for years, so I can listen to my phone. But yeah, the iDrive sucks. Radio stations, as you can see, this is an early model E60, so it doesn't have the preset numbers right here, the radio station. So to change the radio station, I have to go into here, entertainment, press FM, and then change it through here. If I want to scan, I can do that from here, but again, just the radio, it's just super annoying. And anyways, Other than that, I really like these cars. I think they aged very well. They don't look as old as they are, and to the average person, they don't even know that this car is 18 years old. But man, it drives so smooth. This car, it does have coilovers on it, and 20-inch wheels with some low-profile tires, but it is still a joy to drive. I mean, it's just so smooth. The transmission shifts very nicely. And like I said, I've never had to do anything to this car. It's been the most reliable vehicle I've owned. I mean, like, I haven't even had to put brake pads on it. It's really unbelievable. And I've driven it many times out of state. I've driven it to South Carolina. That's my seatbelt. This right here is annoying, but you know, safety first. So as I was saying, yeah, I've driven this car all over the eastern United States. It has been to Ohio many times, Ocean City, Maryland last year. It has been to North Topsail Beach, North Carolina, South Carolina, you name it. It has probably been to that eastern state before. As well as being driven every single day. And on the interstate, you know, it gets about 26, 27 miles per gallon. I have seen 29 before if I set cruise at 60 and just, you know, go easy. But really, this car just floats on the interstate. It's so easy to set cruise at 80 and get where you're going a little bit faster, and at the expense of a few miles per gallon. And you know, I love all the creature comforts of this car. It does everything that a newer car would do. I have a heated steering wheel. Press that button right there, and this thing gets like super hot and comfortable. Again, I've got the heated seat on. I upgraded, if you saw my video, I think it was a coilover video I made a while back. I've swapped out these bolster seats. So these power seats are awesome. For one, I like the color of them, but this right here slides out. You can adjust the seat bolsters to hug your body, and the headrests, they you know, rotate forward and back separately. You can really dial these seats in to have a comfortable ride. I mean, it's like sitting in a recliner when you start adjusting on these seats. They're awesome. All right, we've made it to our neighborhood advance. They got a hot dog sale or something going on here. All right, I'm gonna run in here and get these parts. All right, we got our parts, and right here is what has failed or is about to fail, the water pump. And I also got an oil filter. I'm gonna change the oil, and this RTV is for something else. The water pump just has an O-ring. But anyways, yeah, I went with the composite water pump impeller rather than the metal. These cars came factory with a composite, and there's a lot of debate over metal or plastic impeller. But if they lasted this long with composite, and that's what BMW put in them from the factory, I would venture to say that is the better choice. I mean, metal can fail too. It can rust and break apart. But before we do that, I actually got a text message, or a phone call rather, and I gotta go meet somebody at the school for car repainting, and I can't wait to show you guys what it was, because it was featured on the channel before. So let's go check it out. All right, if you guys remember, maybe you don't, maybe you haven't seen it yet, but there is a playlist for the forgotten Corvette build, and I actually ended up with this C6 Corvette. I traded a landscape job for it and an S10, and it was a huge landscape job. I brought in 15 tons of rock. I think I've gone over this in another video, but long story short, by the time I was done with the landscaping job, the Corvette had set for another few months, and the clutch lost pressure, and I don't want to drag this on, so I'll try and make it fast. But basically, I didn't have the time to put a clutch in this thing, pull the whole rear subframe, the torque tube, you know, spend, I don't know, I think it was like $700 or $800 on a factory clutch and slave cylinder and that. So I listed it for sale, and while it was for sale, I had actually already sold it to a guy, real nice guy. I made a friend over. He drove overnight from Columbus and bought the car. I sold it for a really good deal. I still made money on it. But somebody messaged me and said, all you got to do is just suck the fluid out of the clutch master cylinder and put new fluid in and just keep pumping the pedal. And one of my students here at the school pumped it for like an hour straight, and it started working. And honestly, if I had known that, I would not have sold this car, because I probably had the cheapest clean title C6 Corvette in the nation, if not the world. But with that said, the guy bought it and he picked it up from the school here, and he saw that we painted cars, and he asked us if we would take it on and repaint it because the clear coat was faded. And I said sure. Like I said, he was a nice guy, so he paid the school extra, of course, and here's the finished product. And it turned out amazing. My students knocked this thing out of the park. It was a little bit easier to paint than your average car because it's fiberglass, there's no dents, but I'll do a quick walk around. Here is a before picture of this car when I got it. The top, as you can see, was actually black. It had set for years. The tires were shot. I put new tires on it, a new battery, detailed it, and I buffed the paint as best I could, and I got it to shine a little bit, but it ultimately needed repainted. Some of the clear coat was just completely gone, and I hated this color before, but I actually love it now. They did such a good job. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys an update on that. That car, it sucks I didn't get to really enjoy it, but I actually do have an appreciation for Corvettes. A short amount of time that I got to drive it, they really are a special car. So back to the BMW.
Bluetooth connected.
All right, back in the garage. It's been a long day that involved chopping the mufflers off an RS7 and trying to start a 1956 fire truck, and a search for new tires for this BMW, and some other miscellaneous things. But anyways, let me just fire this thing up and let you hear the sound that made me realize something was up. So that's pretty bad sound. The first time I heard it, I was like, what the heck? I knew it didn't sound like that before. It progressively got worse. Again, I really don't drive this car that much, so it took me like literally 2 months to actually diagnose it. And the other day I was watching the pulleys, and the water pump pulley had a kind of shake to it, and that explains a little bit of coolant loss. I had to top off the coolant once or twice the last few months, and this car has never used coolant before, so very simple fix. It was like $60 for a lifetime warranty water pump, and it doesn't look hard to replace. So get the camera set up and tear into it. All right, it really looks pretty straightforward. So the first thing I'm gonna do is remove the radiator support and then the electric fan. Take this pulley off first. All right, I went the easy route and didn't take the belt off first. Wow, this is so easy. It looks like there's 4 10mm bolts, and this is definitely my issue. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you can literally hear the bearing and feel the play in it right there. Awesome. You know what? There are two threaded holes right here that I bet you screw something into and it will pry this out. And when you know it, BMW and all their infinite wisdom, the 10 millimeters I took off that hold the pulley on, they thread right in. So I'm gonna thread one on each side and press this thing out. All right. So here is the old water pump, and it was just a composite one, like the one that I bought. I wonder if this is the original, but you hear that? That was definitely the issue. If you can see the shaft play. Yeah, you can see right here. So that's awesome. Very simple fix. I could have done this on the side of the road. But so here you can see the bolt that came off your pulleys right here. I just screwed that in and that pushed against the engine block and it slid this thing out. The threads were messed up on this one, so I just put it in one side and you saw me tapping it with that big crescent wrench on the other side. That broke it loose. Alright guys, off camera, I just went through some of the fluids, checked the oil, which I'm going to change tomorrow, but I went ahead and checked it because I haven't been checked in a while. Topped off the power steering fluid, so a little bit low, and obviously I topped off the coolant just now. Checked my belts, they're in great shape. Checked the pulleys, tensioners. The pulleys on these are composite also, they can crack and fall apart and eat up belts, but everything looked good. I kind of zip tied my fan shroud that's been broken for years from the wreck this car was in, and just got you know, things a little bit more secure underneath. So let's fire it up, see if the noise is gone. Alright guys, it seems to be fixed. There's no noise from the water pump anymore. I've got the garage door open. I've got the heat on full blast inside the car. We're gonna let it get up to operating temp, get all the air out of the bled out of the coolant system, get some heat in there, and I don't know if you guys can hear in the video, but this DISA valve is making a little bit of noise. I can feel it. I'm not sure about the M54 V30s, but I think on the newer engines, that valve is known for braking and sending pieces of plastic all through the intake. So that's something I need to look into, because I do hear a little bit of noise from that. But man, it sounds so much better. My car hasn't been this quiet in months. Before I end this video, I need your guys' opinion in the comments. Let me know which wheels I should run, because it is time for tires. These wheels, you know, I bought them only a year ago. There's a video on the installation of these and the coilovers. But yeah, they have excessive camber wear. I got like maybe 12,000 miles out of them, not much at all. So I picked up these wheels for a good deal. And they're 18 by 9.5 rear, staggered 18 by 8.5 front. And here's a rear one with a 1-inch spacer. I really like the way the fitment is, and I kind of like the design of the wheel too. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should I run these, just get tires for these, or get tires for the 20s and keep those? So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more BMW stuff, as well as many other things.